Are you behaving correctly?
Welcome back to the iWealth podcast. And today we're talking with Mr. Brad Connors about behaving not like a naughty child. Well, maybe like a naughty child
maybe.
in some people's cases, but being a disciplined investor.
Yeah. It's a spin on the words, Matt, but it's also so true. Like 28 years of being in this business, you just have to behave correctly when it comes to your investments, and when it comes to your portfolio, and then when it comes to your planning. In times like this where we see the markets, I just see it all the time where people get irrational. They're taking a look at their portfolio and the market being down, or their statement at the end of the year, and say, oh my God, I have to get out of them. I just have to get out. And they're not behaving correctly. We've got stats and statistics that go back many, many years that show the average investor versus the market doesn't win. And the reason is they don't behave correctly. They get emotional with their investments and they don't behave correctly. And so, at this point, as we sit here in the beginning of 2023, we've got many people that did behave correctly that we deal with. We've been educating and helping them, but you just have to be able to put things in perspective, and you've heard me say this, and ask yourself what's changed.
Yep.
When you get to that point in your life, in your head, where you're like, I have to get out of the market, somebody's got to put you back in your seat and saying, what's changed? Meaning, do you still have your job? Do you still have your family? How are your kids doing? Like, what's changed in your life that now you have to take $500,000 out of your IRA and move it to cash at 5% when inflation's at 7%? Like, what's going on in your mind to make you get,
And so the question is really what's changed.
Yeah. What's changed, and then how are you behaving around that's what's changed? Like, what kind of behavior is no different than with our kids? We talked about kids at the beginning of this segment. Like, we ask our kids all the time if they're behaving correctly in church or wherever they're supposed to be. Same thing with investments. If people can just ride things out. I mean, there's been 3 recessions since I've started in this business in 1994. We worked our way through those recessions, and we've had, the 9/11 deal that happened, and COVID happened, and all these things. If people would just behave correctly, continue to be disciplined with their investments, continue to be diversified with their investments.
So when the storm comes up, right, and you're in it, because it's hard to see it when you're in the storm, what are the telltale signs that you can kind of look at? Like, if you're in a fight with your spouse or whatever, as soon as I start to raise my voice, I go, okay, now I need a walk, right? That's like a hard trigger, right? Yeah. From an investment standpoint, what is the hard trigger that maybe we could share with the people that are on your podcast?
Yeah, I've heard it all through the years, but a lot of times people will make excuses. They'll make excuses to get out of the market. Like, I might need this money, or I can't lose anymore, things like that. And when they start to feel that way, they should be picking up the phone and calling their advisor and saying, this is the way I feel. Almost like a therapist, like, I feel this way, is this right? Instead of just automatically in their mind saying, I got to get out. They should just rationalize it with someone else and talk through it, because most of the time it's not rational. Like, I can name 1 or 2 times where it made sense for somebody to get out based upon what was going on in their life. Like, they're going to build a house coming up or something like that, or they needed to get some money out for some
business
reason.
Deal
But it's normally for taking money out.
Yep.
It never has been about, I just got to get out of the market because the market's not good.
Yeah.
They feel that way. So I always tell my team that we earn our keep with our clients when the markets are bad.
Yep.
It's easy to look good when the markets are good. When the markets are bad, we have to hold people's hand, and we have to be accountable, and we have to be rational and have empathy and help them through it. So we're I guess, the prize fighter, we're the guy in the corner that's helping them when they come in from each round, and just helping them be okay with life and with their investments. So, yeah.
And sometimes it does feel like a fight, especially if you have family things that are going on, or even with health stuff going on.
Yeah.
Then it really, really quickly can go from making financial decisions to feeling like you're in a fight, but really you're fighting with something that's health related. Yeah. And then how does that impact your investments?
Right.
And that's where the coach part.
Yeah. And you have stuff that happens with your career, stuff that happens with your family, but number one, the news.
Really?
The news cycle that's going on today that's so divisive.
Yeah.
That turn on any of it. I don't
Yep.
care what channel, what side of the aisle you're on. Turn on any of it, and it's all garbage, and it's
Yep.
all to get you.
If it bleeds, it leads.
It all is to get you revved up, and that sometimes translates to this world's going to hell. I need to get out of the market because it's never going to get any better.
Yeah.
That's kind of the news cycle we're in, and I hate to use that word, but that's how people feel. And so we've had a lot of conversations about turn off the news, just shut it off for a while and get your head straight.
Go for a walk. I like that.
Exactly.
Well, if you want somebody to run some ideas by, or if these topics are hitting home for you right now, how do they get a hold of you?
Yeah, just look us up at iWealthforme.com or get a hold of us, and we're here to help.
There you go. We'll see you back here next time.
Thanks, Matt.